All right. Hi, this is Daniel, and this is the second episode of Crash Course Dummies. And I have Jenny with me again, and she's going to be learning about Node Package Manager, and she's going to run an Express web server that she's going to write out in JavaScript. So I'll tell you right now, I have a folder, and it just has a blank file that's index.js. And one thing that we need for this is Node. And I'll provide a link for that in the description. But you need to install Node. And then we are going to open up the command prompt in this folder.
Okay.
Okay, so there's once you've got Node installed, there is a thing called Node Package Manager that comes prepackaged with Node.
So what am I doing here? What is this?
This is the command line.
Okay.
Like as last time, but you are going to update Node Package Manager because you're not always guaranteed to have the current version once you install Node.
So we've already downloaded Node. It's already there.
At this point, yeah.
Okay.
So I need you to type npm. Let me explain a little bit about Node first.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so Node is it's used to run server-side JavaScript.
Okay.
So this is the application you're going to use to run it, and you can basically, there are a lot of things called packages that you could get for Node to assist you with what you're trying to run on your server, and we're going to be installing a particular one called Express, which is going to actually run your web server.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you said I type in
npm, which is Node Package Manager. Like I said, it already comes packaged with Node, but you're going to type in npm, then install, space.
Install.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then npm, and then put @ no space. And then you're going to type in, this is where you'd usually type in the version of the package. So Node Package Manager is actually its own package. And it's also used to install other packages, but you're basically installing the package again, but you're going to type in latest. So it's going to get you the latest version.
So the word latest?
Yes. And then do another space and do -G, which means you're going to install it globally. This is something we want all around for anytime we're using npm. So just go ahead and press enter.
Okay.
Alright, and now we've installed, actually updated Node, installed the latest version. So we're going to now create our own project that has its own packages in this folder. So we're basically going to build a project around this folder that has this blank JavaScript file that we're going to write. And we're going to include packages that we need in there. And I'll show you how it all works. But you start doing this by typing npm, which is just like in the Git tutorial. That's what you're using. And just like you did with Git, you have to initialize it. So what's the next word?
Initialize?
Is it initialize?
I don't know. What is it?
It's init.
Init.
Yeah.
Like that?
Mm-hmm. And just press enter. This is going to be really cool. Look.
Okay.
Package name.
Test.
And what's in parentheses is, let's see. It'll walk you through creating a package.json file. So what's in parentheses is a default, and you can honestly press enter for all of these.
Okay.
Yep. Enter. Enter.
You don't need to do any of those.
Nope.
I guess you could if you wanted to.
You could if you wanted to, but just for this.
Oh, it says Git repository.
Yeah.
Keywords,
in that
author.
case. You can change this all later. That's why you can accept the defaults. Because it's actually creating a file. Look.
Oh, yeah.
It's in there. It's a JSON file, which is... this is basically what it looks like. It has all these keys and values.
Okay.
So, you have your name, which is test. Your version, which is 1.0.0. And I'm going to... Here, let's go to VS Code down there.
Which one is that?
The blue one.
This one right here?
Mm-hmm. And go ahead and click on package.json in the folder there. And you'll see...
It's got it all there, too.
It's got it all there. Now I'm going to explain a little bit. Actually, I'll explain this in a second. Go back to the command prompt.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And we are going to install Express.
Okay.
So npm install Express, and don't press enter. We are going to save it. We are going to do space and do -- save, because we need it in our dependencies. This package.json folder or file here. You'll see what it does to it in a second. Go ahead and go back to the command prompt and press enter. It's going to install Express. And normally it'll just install Express and you can use it. You can also check, well, you'll be able to see it here in a second because it shows you the contents of the test folder. So now we have, a node modules folder, which is
which is over here, right?
Mm-hmm. Don't click on that. It's
Okay.
very complicated, but that's what you just installed. Express is going to be found in that node modules. Anything you install in npm in the folder you're in will be in node modules. But go back and click on, or go to your package.json right here in Visual Studio Code. And if you can see now, it says Express is a dependency. That's because you're in a package right now, your package.json, but you created this this package. It's your project. It has its own dependency. It's dependent on the package Express. And if you can see, it even says the version that it is.
The 4.16.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Now, if you had not have done that -- save, it wouldn't be here. It would still be installed. The important thing about package.json is when you check your project into, like GitHub, there is not going to be a node modules folder. That's too complex to upload. That's going to be all of your dependencies are going to be in there, and you don't need to do that. What you need to do is include a package.json file that has your dependencies, and you can go ahead. Whoever downloads it would then be able to npm install, and it'll install all the dependencies there. But here you can actually specify what version you want it to be. So this says 4.16.2, but it has a caret in front of it.
Yeah, what is that?
So do you know about how to read versions?
Not really, no.
Okay, so this is going to be really cool. So this has 3 numbers, all separated by a dot. This 4 is the major version, 16 is the minor version, and 2 is the patch.
Okay.
Now for bug fixes, just nothing changed except maybe there's like a little typo or there's just a little minor bug. That's where they update the patch number. So if they made just a minor change that really doesn't change anything except fix maybe a little bug, it would just be 4.16.3.
Right.
If they added a feature or changed any functionality,
it would be 4.17.
Yes, as long as it still is backwards compatible.
Okay.
If they completely just do something that makes it not backwards compatible anymore, that's when they change the major version. Then it's 5.0.0.
That's cool.
And so this caret actually means that it's going to install 4.16.2 unless if there's a new minor version they're going to update that. So if there was a 4.17.0, it would actually go to 4.17.0, but it would not ever go to 5.0.
Okay.
If you want to get even more specific than that, you can put a tilde, and it won't change the minor version at all. It'll only change bug fixes. So it'll go to, it'll install 4.16.3, but it won't install 4.17.
Is that just like a preference type of thing? You decide like what fits for whatever you're doing, and that's why you either do the caret or the tilde?
It's a functionality thing. It's, if there's something that doesn't work with
a certain version.
Yeah, just in case.
That makes sense.
And if you want an absolute version,
like just
leave it like that.
In the
But we're okay, and in this case we're okay with how it was with the caret. That means that we'll update any minor versions if there are any. So that way you don't have to end up changing this number. You can just leave it as it is. And even though it says 4.16.2, it can get the latest version as long as it's still 4. something. So that's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
Yep. But now we have it, and so now we're going to use it. So let's go to index.js.
This file over here?
Yep, it's blank right now.
Okay.
And
do I get to write code now?
Yes, you do.
Yay!
So JavaScript. First, we're going to declare a variable.
Okay.
Do you know how to do that?
Nope. Tell me.
Var. And then space.
Okay.
And this is what you're going to call the variable. You're going to call it express. And then you're going to do equals. Do a space. Space. And you're going to put require, and then parentheses, and what you're requiring is express, but it needs express to be a string. So do you know how to make a string out of that?
I do not.
Put it in single quotes, apostrophes.
Oops.
And then close it off.
With my closed parentheses?
Yep, and then close it off with a semicolon.
Wait, do I close? So I did.
You're good.
I'm good.
Yeah, look at it.
Okay.
It tells you what the parentheses connects to, what the open parentheses counterpart is.
Okay.
Okay. And now on another line, because that means you're onto a new line now.
Yep.
Declare another variable.
Oops, that's not right. Okay.
And call this one app. You can call it really anything, but we're going with app.
Okay.
I think that's pretty standard. And it equals express.
Is that in the single?
Nope.
No?
Because
because we already told
variable,
it.
yes.
Yeah, got it.
We're telling it to require this this module. And parentheses, open and close, nothing in it. Because now we're making a function out of it. Because we have the variable express, but if we call express, it doesn't really know what to do with that. It just knows require express, but it's not really doing anything with it. We need to make a function out of it. So now we have a new variable that's actually making a function out of our express variable.
Okay.
And then do a semicolon. And we're going to do one more variable and call it port.
Is it just equals port?
No, port. You're naming it first.
Okay.
And then you're going to say what it equals. And just put a number in here.
Any number?
Yeah, I would do like 4 digits.
4 digits?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Sure. And then close it off. And do a double space here because we're done declaring variables. Well, a double enter. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now we're going to start writing stuff because right now we just have to find a few things, but it really isn't doing anything yet. We are going to use app because that's pretty much the main thing we're using here. It's we're using Express to set up a web server, so the variable that we're going to use, the most is going to be app, which is doing things with Express. So do app. And we're going to give it an HTTP request. So don't do space yet. Do dot and do get.
Like
GET, yes.
Okay.
Which is an HTTP request. That's basically when you type in like a URL, it's getting the contents of that URL.
Okay.
So well, it's actually and we are going to don't space yet. So we are getting with Express. You're going to do parentheses. And then in there, type apostrophe.
Apostrophe is this one?
Slash.
Forward or?
/. And that's okay. Get out of the apostrophe, but still in the parentheses. So right.
Delete.
No, don't
Leave
delete
it.
anything. Just leave it.
Okay.
And do a comma. These are our parameters. These are
okay.
Yeah. So this is telling us this is what we're getting. Or we're going to say what to get when we have just a slash there. So basically, like google.com /
Okay.
So we're going to say what happens when we just go to,
Got it.
just the basic page. And then your second parameter, so it's going to be function.
So do I put it in these things?
No.
No?
Function. You could go ahead and put a space between there, I would. After
between
the comma.
Yeah.
And it's going to be function, no space, parentheses. And you're going to pass in parameters for this. It's going to be rec, REQ, request, comma, and the next one is response. And it's shortened to res, sorry. And then do space.
Okay.
In
the parentheses?
In the first parentheses. There you go. Not that one.
Okay,
there you go. And then do curly braces.
The curly braces are these guys.
Yep. And then enter.
Enter.
Yep. Because you're going to say what the function is.
Okay.
So we're going to work with our response here. So type in res dot send. And in this case, we're saying, well, the request is we're getting, the contents of this, or actually no, the request is we're getting this.
Those, yeah.
What that's supposed to be, and this is what our response is going to be. We're going to send some text over. So open a parentheses, and you're going to type a string in here, so you know how to contain strings. There you go. And type in just whatever you'd like. Oh.
Okay.
All right. And then close off the line.
Oh shit! What did I do?
You just
Sorry.
spaced. So just backspace until you got it. Cool. And then
It was like angrily red. Did you see that?
Yeah,
It was
'cause-
really mad that I messed up its
Yep.
thing. Okay.
Okay, so close off your line, and then the next line.
Which is that one, right?
Yep.
And then I go down here
Yeah,
and I do
and
the same.
that line too. And you're going to double space because we're going to do a new function here. We're going to, well, right now we basically have a request and response, but right now it's not going to do anything because we need to actually run a web server. Right now we have a function that's going to do something on a web server, but we haven't even. We don't know where to run the web server right now.
Does that have anything to do with the port?
Yes.
The 1, 2, 3, 4?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to listen on that port. So type in app.listen. So it's going to get the express to listen on a port. And so you're going to open up parentheses here, and the first parameter is going to be port. You know what that means?
Is it where I'm going to put a number?
Well, is it?
I don't know.
What is port?
Port is like if a ship comes somewhere, it's a port, right?
What is port in this case?
I don't know. Tell me.
Well, it's really just like the same concept, basically, but it's
Like a place to dock something?
Yeah, it's a place that you're going to run something.
So, like, for instance, if
case.
we were running a local host and it has those numbers or something,
yeah,
it's telling it where to go. It's like a place.
yeah, basically. Well,
Okay.
it's a place that's going to run on.
Okay. I don't know either. We're going to have to get rid of all of this. Because I don't know.
I don't know how to explain it, but it is similar to like a ship port.
Like a ship port.
What I'm asking here is, what is port in this JavaScript file?
Port equals 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. So do you need to type any more numbers?
No, because it already knows.
It already knows what it is because it's variable.
Oh, that's what the first part.
But
of it
you're
was
also
for.
going to run a function.
So then,
Yes, because this will work. This will work if you run this. But let's just add something else. It's going to make it cool, and it's also going to be very user friendly.
Okay, which is always good.
Just like up there, do comma
after port.
After port. Yep. Just like in this.
Right there.
And do a function here too.
So function.
Yeah, and I would put a space between.
Oh yeah, because you were telling me that's like a best practice or something.
It looks prettier.
Okay.
Yep.
So
and function, and you're going to have to run parameters or not through it, but always follow a function with parentheses.
Okay.
And then a space, and then curly braces. In this case, no, not inside those.
Oh, not?
Not inside.
I did that wrong?
Yes. Look at this up here, for example. The one that you did before.
Oh, right. Okay,
Yeah.
so outside, right?
Yeah, and
right
put a
there.
space between the parentheses and... Well, between the parentheses and the bracket, the curly braces is what I meant. You can keep those next to each other. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Like
I
that.
see. Okay.
Yes. Alright, and this is going to be our last function here.
Okay.
So, yay.
Where do I click in?
go ahead
into the curly things?
Well, yeah, the line that you're going to type the function into.
Right
there
here.
you go. And type in console.log.
Log.
And then parentheses again.
Okay.
And then a string.
Which is in this thing, right?
Mm-hmm. And then type in something that will indicate that you're connected. Just whatever you'd like, as long as it... And you clicked off of it, by the way. Go back in here.
Right there. Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Just something that basically indicates success. And you click off it again.
Why do I keep doing that? Sorry.
Cool.
Okay.
Alright, and then close off your lines that are unclosed.
So,
of them, yeah.
that one there and that one there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then save the file.
Up file save.
Yeah, you can do that. Or Control S. And here, let me just go ahead and... Oh, it's because I messed around with that. We can just go ahead and save that
real
anyways.
quick.
Yeah, and go back to the command prompt. And type in node, which is what you're going to run this on. Because, like I said, it's server-side JavaScript, so you need to be running on Node, and type in the file name.
Node test?
Yes. No.
Wait, no, the file name is package.json?
No. It's server-side JavaScript, so what file do you want to run?
App.js?
That's not it. That was just something else I had open.
Index.js?
Mm-hmm.
So in the command
The
prompt,
one JavaScript file you've been working with. So node,
space.
and you're going to run index.js.
Okay.
Surprise!
Oh, cool!
You know what? This is the console, so it's saying listen at this port and also log in the console success. Now we haven't set up anything that would say there are any errors, so I wouldn't have complete faith in that it always
That's still cool though.
success. But yeah, that is cool. Now go to the browser.
Okay.
And what's your port? Because do you know?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, so you're gonna do localhost and then : Just do right. Just do arrow right arrow, colon, and then 3,000.
One,
Or
two,
wait, no.
three, four.
Yeah, one.
Right.
Here, let's do that again.
Okay.
Colon,
And then
and
one.
then your port. Yeah.
Yay!
Yay! But if you do anything else, Dan Earl,
Cannot
get because it can only get slash, which is just it can only get the root. It can't get anything else. It only knows how to get that.
That's
But
awesome.
it sent it got it. The request was get, as you can see. It cannot get that. But when you just did, just slash, it could get that, and the response to that request
is what we've set.
we set it to.
That's
Send
very cool.
That text. Yeah. So
Awesome.
really, yeah, that's a pretty.
So
it's
you could
just-
build out entire websites that way, I guess.
Well, that's
Or would you have? I guess you would have a bunch of other complicated stuff.
I would not build a website in this.
No.
This is actually more of like what I've been working with my back end like database
Okay.
stuff.
So what would you be able to do with this? Like, what would you use it
Host a database.
for? Okay.
Like for example, my cats project that I was working on was made just how you made it.
Okay.
Just a little bit more complicated with the requests.
Very cool. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that.
All right. So you showed me how to
For one thing, install. Well, we already had Node installed, but that's important. That's what you're going to run all this on. I talked to you a little bit about server-side JavaScript, and we just wrote our JavaScript file that was going to be run using Express to host a web server that we can use HTTP requests on. So this is a very this is an HTTP request right here. We're getting so. The URL, well, I don't know how to explain this. I kind of just want to wrap it up.
just wrap it up.
Okay. So yeah. So we learned we learned a little bit about server-side JavaScript. We wrote a JavaScript file that was going to be using Express to run on a server, and had a request, an HTTP request that gets a response, and we wrote our text in there that we wanted it to say. By the way, we're just sending text to it, so that's just one way to use that response, but there are plenty of other ways to use it. But we also learned a little bit about NPM and packages and semantic versioning, which is what is basically the standard that you see versioning versions listed as, the like 1.0.0. That's just the standard. That way we know what each of those numbers means. So what do they mean again?
The first one is like the main release.
The major version.
Major versioning. Second one is the I remember what it means. It's like not major. The last one is like minor bug fixes and stuff like that.
Well, those what is that called?
There's like a term for it.
Yeah.
That I don't remember.
It's a patch.
Patch, that's right.
But the major goes in hand with major version and
minor version?
Yeah, minor version.
Yeah, and then patches. Yeah.
Yep, and what
Got
do each
it.
of those mean? The patch, you said patch is like bug fixes
Bug
and stuff.
fixes.
What if there's a change that's what if there's a change to my project that that adds or changes functionality, or maybe that. What if there's a change to my project that adds a new feature?
That would be the middle number, right?
Yeah, the minor change.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
Why not the major change? What's the difference between a major change and a minor change in this case?
Does it have to do with the forwards and backwards compatibility?
Yeah, that's
Aspect of
exactly.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you don't want a you don't want to update where all the projects using
Yeah.
it would not be able to work anymore. In that case, you would use a
Major. Carrot.
you would put a caret.
Oh yeah, the carrot at the beginning. All you had to say was bunny, and I knew.
Yep. To say that you want to use the latest minor version,
Right. Yeah, I remember now.
and also a tilde would be use the latest patch
Got it.
of the minor version, and caret, of course, the latest minor version of the major version that you have listed.
Well, thank you for teaching me how to do this.
Yeah.
I had fun.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm not feeling well, but I still had fun.
Okay.
But it's
Good.
not your fault. It's congestion.
All right. Well, that was Crash Course Dummies Volume 2. I guess not Volume 2. I guess.
Version? No.
No.
Not version. Is it a minor?
Yeah,
Is it a minor
that's exactly
update?
what I was thinking of. The episode.
Is it a patch?
I don't know. Video number 2. Yep.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
Yay.